All right, in example 4, again, we're looking at unit rates to write equations. And we're given that a car can travel 420 miles on 15 gallons of gas. We're asked to write an equation relating the distance traveled to the number of gallons of gas used. Distance traveled being D, and gallons of gas used being G. And then we're asked to find how many gallons of gas the car needs to travel 1,120 miles. So the first thing we need to do is find our unit rate. And because of the way this is set up, we could use gallons per mile. We could also more traditionally set up miles per gallon. So we'll go ahead and we'll use miles per gallon first. So again, we're finding the unit rate. We have 420 miles per 15 gallons. We'll go ahead and use long division to solve for that. 420 divided by 15. 15 times 2 is 30. And then we subtract. That gives us 12. We bring down our 0. And 15 will go into 128 times. You could use trial and error. 15 times 10 is going to be 150. And then subtract from that would be 135. Subtract from that would be 120. Or you can just use trial and error to get an idea, as long as you end up with the 28 miles per gallon. And now we're going to set up our actual equation. So let's think in terms of logic. We know the distance traveled equals the miles per gallon times the number of gallons of gas used. So that's going to give us distance equals, we determined that the car is getting 28 miles per gallon times the number of gallons, which we know is G. Now, alternatively, we could have solved for gallons per mile. That's going to give us the equation gallons equals 1/28 D. Either one of these we could use. We just went with miles per gallon for our unit rate because that's traditionally what you're going to find, miles per gallon. And it all comes out in the wash when we set up and solve for the actual problem of, question is, how many gallons of gas to travel 1,120 miles. And this is why it would be easier for this part at least to have G equals 1/28 D. But again, it works either way. It's just a matter of substituting. We have D equals 28 miles per gallon times the number of gallons. We substitute in 1,120 miles equals 28 G. Then divide both sides by 28. And then we'll go ahead and we'll write this out as a long division problem. 1,120 divided by 28. How many times will 28 go into 112? We're going to go ahead and we know 25 goes into 100 4 times. So let's try 4. 8 times 4 is 32. 2 down, carry your 3. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 3 is 11. Subtract, you get 0. Bring down your 0. 28 will go into 0 0 times. So to travel 1,120 miles, we would need 40 gallons of gas needed to travel 1,120 miles. So again, our first step is always to find the unit rate in order to write the equation. And then we set up the equation based on our variables and what the unit rate is. And again, either one of these would suffice as far as the solution is concerned. And then to find the number of gallons to travel 1,120 miles, we simply substitute in the 1,120 miles for D, the distance traveled, and then solve for G, the number of gallons used. And that ends up being 40.